What's up, y'all? It's Missy from Fire Fitness Camp Fond du Lac. So I'm going to talk to you today about the thoracic spine, so your upper back. And if you have completed on yourself or a client an overhead squat assessment and you find that their arms are falling forward, or if you've got a forward lean in your squat assessment and you've went on to test with your hands by your hips and that happened to make it better, this is a great warm-up for you. Or if you're just prepping for doing some big upper body lifts, this is also a great warm-up for you. So if you really like to lift heavy, you're going to do some big heavy bench presses or rows or presses over your head. This is a great warm-up for that as well. So as always, we're starting with our handy-dandy foam roller. That's going to be our first step always. So I'm going to start out by foam rolling my thoracic spine. So I'm going to start right here and just right in the middle here, not in the middle, sorry, towards the upper back, right about your scapula, so right about your shoulder blades. I'm just going to hang out on it. So the first thing I usually have someone do when they're doing their back is just hang out on it, because you just never know what's going on back there. So you want to give them a chance to just feel it. If they can, I have them pick up their hips. So right now the foam roller is just underneath my scapula, so just underneath my shoulder blades, just hanging out right there. I'm going to hold for 30 seconds, and I'm going to take some big deep breaths, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn my foam roller straight up and down. And what I'm doing right here is, again, I'm going just to the side of my spine and right underneath my shoulder blade is where I'm trying to get. So I'm going to do one side at a time. I'm going to hold here for 30 seconds. And then to make it better, after that 30 seconds, I'm going to do any kind of arm movement. It could be up and down. It could be across my body. It really doesn't matter. That's going to get down into that trigger point even better. So, and then I'm going to make sure I do the other side. The other two spots that you might want to consider foam rolling for that arm forward lean is your lats right here. Or again, if you're just prepping for a big upper body lift, really might want to think about foam rolling those lats. That's going to get you a lot more mobility. So the foam roll, those we're just going to lay right here on the side, and we're going to hang out on them, and it's going to feel great, like right away. You can always tell by someone's face if they're in the right spot. Any kind of movement to the side back here is going to get a little deeper in a little bit other spot, and that's okay too. Anytime someone's foam rolling, what I tell them is where you feel it is okay. It doesn't need to be textbook. Yeah, that's right on my lat, or yeah, that's right on this muscle, whatever it is we're shooting for. If it feels like you're on a trigger point and you're not getting like zingers up and down your body, then great, hang out there. Foam rolling is just half about what you're feeling. So I'm going to sit on my lat there, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to get it a little bit of movement, really any direction, and that's going to feel real great. And then I'm going to do my pecs. So it's a little bit more difficult for us as women to do our pecs, but we can still do them. You're going to turn it right here at an angle. So I'll come up close to kind of show you where I'm at. So I'm going to put my hand out to the side, and then I'm going right here is my shoulder joint. I'm going just inside of it, and I'm turning it right there. And I'm going to lay down on the ground on my pecs right there. And just like anything else, any kind of movement on that after that 30 seconds is going to get a little bit deeper. It is going to feel great. Next, we're going to stretch those areas. So my favorite thoracic spine stretch would just be coming across right here. I'm going to reach under my body, and then my cue for someone is to push their palm down into the ground as hard as they can. So you're going right here. They're going to push their palm down to the ground, and they're going to turn away from it, and that should get you a pretty good stretch in your upper back. Then you're going to do the other side. And I typically will do my lats on a stability ball or on a BOSU, or you can use your foam roller. So you're going to go right here, and you're going to get that stretch. But I really like doing it on a stability ball because that ability to kind of sink down in it, you're going to get a little bit deeper. And just like any of these other stretches, my preferred method would be to do a 30-second hold. Then you're going to take a big deep breath, and then you're going to try to stretch it just a little bit further for 7 to 10 seconds. And then your pecs you can do on anything, you know, a doorway, a pole, whatever. We can go right here, or you can get up nice and close and get a little deeper into it. This is going to give you a little bit different experience. It's going to go down your bicep versus this. But again, it's just up to what you feel. But as always, you can hold it for 30 seconds. You're going to take a big deep breath and you're going to try to push into it for another 7 to 10 seconds to get it a little bit deeper. Then we got to reach, roll, and lift. So this one's a little bit, yeah, it doesn't feel good. That's all I'm going to say. But it's definitely going to get some good mobility in that shoulder, really getting them warmed up. So I'm going to be right here in like what yogis would call the child's pose. So I'm going to be reaching out. I'm just going to try one hand at a time. I'm reaching as far as I can, right? And then I'm going to roll my palm up towards the sky. So my palm, just my one at a time is going to be right here, reaching out. And then I'm going to lift. And then I'm going to go back down. I'm going to lift. And then I'm going to go back down. So I have pretty crappy shoulder mobility, so I can't hold it up there very low. But you want to try to hold that lift as long as you can, really squeeze in your upper back and go back down. You're going to want to do about 10 reps or 10-second hold, 3 reps on each side if you can. If you can't hold for 10 seconds, just do more reps, and that's perfectly fine. So then you're going to do each side. Next, you are going to put your forearm with your palm up directly in the middle here. Make sure it's not off to the side at all, but I'm going to be directly in the middle. I'm going to put my hand behind my head, touch my elbow, and then I'm going to get a good stretch here. You're going to hold for 10 seconds if you can. Come back down, go back again, hold for 10 seconds if you can. You really want to get that squeeze in that upper back. You can also do it with your hand back here. So we can go right here and we can just stretch that way first. That's going to travel a little bit lower down into your back. And some people are going to need that before they can do the version with their hands on their head. But you want to make sure your forearm is down to the ground with your palm up right in the middle of your knees. And next, we're going to do a band row. So we're going to try to start activating those muscles a little bit. So and you can use dumbbell if you want. That's perfectly fine too. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to get a squeeze. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just get a little bit of isolated strengthening. Really pull those shoulders back. And what else I got? One more. I got a little shoulder distraction. So again, you can take it or you can leave it. Best done with a band, but even if you got a pull to hold on to, you can do the same thing. All you're really doing here is grabbing your band and you're just pushing your hips back and you're letting your shoulder joint kind of just stretch right there. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to just hold it, and I'm going to stretch, trying to loosen it up, that shoulder. I like to tell people to really push their hips back and try to feel that joint come in loose a little bit. So if somebody has ever dislocated their shoulder, I would warn you not to do that because you have no idea as a personal trainer if that's going to mess something up. So definitely ask that question before you ever have somebody do shoulder distraction or really any of this stuff. If they've dislocated their joints, you definitely don't want to be doing any kind of distraction. That is far outside of your scope of practice. So don't do it. And I think that's all I got. So that's going to be a great upper body warm up for almost anything. Great way to help correct things in that overhead squat assessment. But if you're doing any kind of big upper body lifts or any kind of upper body work, that's going to be a great upper body warm up. Thanks, y'all.